My name is Marvin Minsky, and I'm often called a pioneer of artificial intelligence. But how many of you have ever wondered what it takes to truly think about thinking? Today I'll share some of my journey with you, and hopefully it will spark some thoughts of your own. Let's start at the beginning. I was born in New York City in 1927, and as a child I was always curious about how things worked. My father was an eye surgeon, so I grew up around the idea of precision and the importance of understanding the mechanisms behind things. Have you ever found yourself taking something apart just to see how it works? That was me as a child, but instead of just toys, I wanted to dissect the mind. I attended Harvard University where I studied mathematics, but it wasn't until I entered Princeton for my PhD that I began to focus on the brain. The question that drove me was simple yet profound. Can machines be made to think? But let me tell you, this path wasn't easy. In the 1950s and 60s, the idea of artificial intelligence was more science fiction than science. People were skeptical. How do you convince others that a machine can replicate something as complex as human thought? I faced the challenge of not just building machines but also overcoming the fear and skepticism surrounding them. We didn't have the computational power we have today, and the limitations were frustrating. Imagine trying to teach a computer to recognize a cat in a picture when the machine barely had enough memory to store the picture, let alone analyze it. Have you ever had a moment when you felt like your tools were holding you back? That was my everyday reality. But challenges can lead to breakthroughs. At MIT, I co-founded the Artificial Intelligence Laboratory. We developed the first machines that could mimic human thought processes, and this laid the groundwork for what would become the field of AI. One of my proudest achievements was developing the concept of frames, a way for computers to understand the context of information. This idea is still used today in AI and robotics. Have you ever been part of something that felt bigger than yourself? That's what the AI lab was for me. A collaborative environment where ideas flourished, and each new discovery felt like a step closer to unlocking the mysteries of the mind. But it wasn't all success. One of my greatest disappointments was overestimating how quickly AI would develop. In the 1970s, I thought we were on the verge of machines that could think and learn like humans, but AI turned out to be far more complicated than I imagined. The AI winter, as it came to be known, was a period when progress stalled and funding dried up. It was a humbling reminder that even the best ideas need time, and sometimes a lot of it. Have you ever aimed for the stars but landed far short? It's a tough pill to swallow, but those failures taught me patience and the importance of persistence. On a more personal note, I was always fascinated by music and enjoyed playing the piano. I believed that creativity was as much a part of intelligence as logic and reason. My wife, Gloria, was my lifelong partner and support. Together, we had 3 children who grew up in a household filled with curiosity and exploration. I always tried to balance my work with my personal life, although I'll admit that the boundary often blurred. How could it not when you're obsessed with understanding the human mind? So let me leave you with this. What drives your curiosity? What questions keep you up at night? For me, it was always about understanding the mind, not just replicating it but pushing the boundaries of what we believe is possible. My journey was full of ups and downs, but every challenge was a step toward a greater understanding. Thank you for listening, and I hope you leave here with more questions than answers, because that's where the real journey begins.